because the people do not know ahead of time. Like I said, I saw the Black Myth Wukong team crying. Um, um, when they did not win, presumably. Like, people don't know ahead of time if they're winning or not.
Any story to make the developers look bitter and upset and immature is what they want, as we've seen leading up to the game's release. Every single smear campaign against it, using a story such as Alana's with zero substance or evidence to back it up.
Hello, my family, and welcome back to the channel. Today, I feel like crying, honestly. Here's the point of the situation. The Game Awards happened, Astrobot won the Game of the Year, and Alana Pierce was sitting at the ceremony, and which, by the way, she's not, or they are not. She's bi, right? I don't know. Whatever. It doesn't matter. She said that she saw the game science team crying, and she assumed that it was for not winning. Well, okay, even if she was right, and even if there was someone crying, she made an assumption, and well, she was wrong. Then, of course, people weren't, let's say, happy with the situation, especially when some articles start to come out. So let's take a look at the articles. Here we have one from Game Rant. Black Myth Wukong dev was crying and upset. Where that upset came from? Well, Alana's assumption, as I assume. Now it's me that is assuming things. But I think I'm right. Because she says that they were crying because they didn't win, so yeah, they were upset. Okay, let's take this at face value. I read the article. To be honest, they just reported the situation. Lana Pierce, who previously worked for Sony's acclaimed Santa Monica studio, was at the Game Awards this year. In recent stream, Pierce noted that she saw a member of Black Myth Wukong development team crying after the game lost Game of the Year to Astrobot. Pierce said that it was definitely unusual for the award show. Was it? Is it really unusual? People like crying when they lose? Or when they won? When they win, for that matter? A viewer then asked Pierce if the Black Myth developer was crying celebratory tears, to which Pierce clarified that no. How the heck does she knows? Anyway, just reporting. They continue. There are many who are not happy about Astrobot winning Game of the Year at the Game Awards 2024. The backlash echoes the Game Awards 2023 situation, where people were upset that Spider-Man 2 lost to Baldur's Gate 3. Okay, nothing new, right? People getting upset because their favorite game from their favorite plastic box didn't win a game, an award. Nothing new. Let's move on to another article. Here's one from Comic Book. Black Myth Wukong team reportedly crying after losing Game of the Year. The team behind Black Myth Wukong reportedly cried after losing of the game wrote speech 2 years in advance. Yeah, okay. To be honest, this was going well, this article. I don't see any problem with this article. While the developers typically celebrate their peers' success and cheer for them, even if they lose, Game Science reportedly didn't do that. According to former Santa Monica student Alana Pierce, the Black Myth Wukong team were seen visibly crying when Astrobot won Game of the Year. Pierce noted she's never seen anything like that. Well, she must be blind, and they were definitely upset, which, to be honest, it's okay to be upset if one loses at a competitive event, which the Game Awards are, for that matter. It's an award, right? Competition is implied, right? Wait, am I delusional? While it's understandable to be disappointed that they lost, this outward display of emotion over losing at the Game Awards is pretty unusual. This is where this article starts to, being not that good. Furthermore, Game Science CEO Feng took Chinese social media to express his disappointment and frustration with the loss in a big rant. In a post translated, Jai noted that he had written an acceptance speech for Black Myth Wukong winner Gaming of the Year 2 years ago. Okay, is there anything wrong with it? The guy definitely believed in the game, which is good, right? It's what we want, right? That developers believe in their own games. The producer notes that he was extremely confident in the quality of the game. Here it is, and felt like he traveled to Los Angeles for the award show for nothing. It's understandable. What's wrong with it? Nothing. All right. Let's move on to the other one. Here's one from the Medium, which definitely is not biased, just like IGN. Both are not biased at all, okay? Not biased. So, of course, they defend the game, which is okay. But I have something to say about this little paragraph here. I was reading through the comment sections, and most people seemed upset over the hate that Astrobot was getting, as it distracts from how good the title it is. With that said, there is a deeper conversation. Yes, there is a deeper conversation, but you are missing it. We'll get to that in a moment. As great as Astrobot was, many feel that he did not do enough to beat out Black Myth Wukong. For some reason, it simply feels that many within the media do not like this title. Fair enough, that's an opinion. So, if they don't like the title, why the heck did Black Myth Wukong won Best Action Game of the Year? It won the Best Action Game. If they didn't like the game, it wouldn't won anything. Now, let's go to the essential here. The thing that everything is missing. The deeper conversation, indeed. And that deeper conversation is why the heck does someone commenting that men cry when they lose, why the reaction was immediately that what she was doing, or the articles for that matter, were belittling the men, calling them, how did that Fritanga put it? Immature. Why did people jump to that conclusion? And that's the deeper conversation I want to have. What world do we live in where the first conclusion people take from a comment, that regardless if it happened or not, that's not what's at the heart of the discussion here. It's the reaction. Why did people jump to that conclusion? Right? Let me show two clips for you. This one is Tom Brady crying after losing the Super Bowl to the Eagles. Now I ask you, who amongst you the first reaction was to label Brady as immature and petty and sour and salty because he lost, and cry because he lost? Here's the second one. Cristiano Ronaldo, one of the world's most famous soccer player, which, by the way, is Portuguese as me. He cried after losing to Morocco in the World Cup quarterfinal. Nobody called him immature. What happened between the time between this situation, Brady's situation, and now? What happened? Men have feelings, you know. Competitive men are allowed to cry when they lose and when they win. And that's not an excuse to say what I read in a paragraph that I will show you. This is the one that really upset me. Push square. Yes, it is a biased, just like the medium. But what they said here, it's just obnoxious. Former IGN and Sony Santa Monica writer Alan Pierce alleges that at least one game science developer could be seen weeping from her seat in the front row of the Game Awards audience. The act is fine in and of itself. Yes, it is. We are allowed as many crying breaks as we like here at Push Square, and Kelly himself was clearly overcome with masculine emotion on the main stage while introducing an Okami Squall thriller. Yes, we are allowed, as men, we are allowed to cry. And as a competitive person, I'm not a competitive person, okay? But I do understand why competitive person cry when they lose. What I don't understand is this. Still, it suggests, yes, it suggests, right? It suggests, yeah, that perhaps the developers had their expectations set a hair too high. Why? It is a good game, Black Myth Wukong, a good game, man. And it detracts from the spirit of good sportsmanship and camaraderie these events are supposed to engender. You motherfucker. So, Tom Brady, yeah, it detracted. When we cried, it detracted from spirit of good sportsmanship and camaraderie. Same thing for Ronaldo. That's the problem. This is the problem. Look, it's time, I think, to take a deep breath. Both sides of the fence. Take a deep breath and think what you are doing. Okay? Think what you are doing. Because both sides of the fence look pretty bad on this picture. Pretty bad on this picture. Both of you. One, because, well, both sides. Their reaction was to a man crying, or supposedly crying because they lose, to label them as immature. As if any of the articles before, except this one, which was not even mentioned on the Fritanga video. He was talking about the other articles. The other articles had nothing. They were just reporting, man. Think about it, okay? Think about it. Okay, guys, forgive me for this little rant, but I am sick of this nonsense. Sick of this nonsense. We are all gamers. We all like games. Can we just get along and enjoy a game? We are allowed to like a game, and we are allowed to not like a game. And that's it. That's it. Have a good one.